Welcome back to the Happy Chef YouTube channel. In this video I'll be making homemade freshly baked bread from scratch. So none of this dried yeast stuff from the supermarket. So let's look at those ingredients that we'll be using in today's recipe. Remember to like, share and subscribe to the Happy Chef YouTube channel. Press that bell to never miss a video. So this is the ingredient list that we'll be using in today's recipe. So everything on my left side here is everything that you'll be using for our bread dough mix. So let's get started. 500 grams of strong white bread flour. Alternatively, you can use any alternative bread flour that is available to you. 200 milliliters of lukewarm water. 60 milliliters of lukewarm milk, 15 grams of sugar, and 5 to 10 grams of salt. On my right side here, we have everything that you'll be needing to make our yeast starter. In true Blue Beaters fashion, I have one here that I made earlier. So what you'll need is 30 grams of raisins, oil-free raisins. When I mean about this term is raisins that have been naturally sourced and that has not been treated in any such oil, as this would mean that it will act much like a shield in the fermentation process. We also have about 100 milliliters of cold water. The first step that you need to do is prepping your yeast starter, as this is the longest thing that you need to do. So what you're going to do is have a loose sealing container. So what that means is, so it is not airtight. So I've got this loose fitting container, as I said before. I've washed it and I've microwaved it for 20 seconds just to make sure it's safe to be used. So what I'm going to do is take our raisins into our container, our water. Make sure your water, add a bit extra, just in extra water, and this is going to take 7 days to process. So each day you're going to swirl it like that, and we'll see you in 7 days. Day 1. Day 2. As you can see, there is starting to have some air bubbles here. This is what you want. As you can see, some of them have started to rise up to the surface. You want to, in a few more days, you'll see all of the raisins will come back, will rise up to the surface. Day 3. Again, as you can see, some more raisins have risen up to the surface. Just continue to monitor over. Day 4. Again, we're going to still monitor this until day 7. So now, after your raisins have risen all the way to the surface of your container, you're going to extract in another container 100 grams of liquid. And apart from your strong white bread flour or whatever bread flour that you're using, you're going to have another 100 grams of your bread flour and add it into your container. So now, like so, we're going to mix it all together, fully incorporating it. As you can see, for you keen-eyed viewers, we've got an elastic band here. This elastic band is important as you want to know where your yeast dough has started from, and we're going to let rise until double in size or until air bubbles start to form, and we're going to just place a lid onto our container, but you don't want it to be airtight. So like that. So it's been a day. As you can see, there's been a bit of a few developments into our yeast starter dough. As you can see, there's been a couple of bubbles appearing into our yeast starter dough. This is the ideal time to making our bread dough. So in a bowl, we're going to add all of our strong white bread flour. You can also use whatever bread flour that you've been using. Our salt, our sugar goes in. And additionally, I'm adding in another ingredient, which is poppy seeds. This is optional, of course. And we're going to give it a good mix around until all evenly distributed. Like so. And in goes the rest of the ingredients, which is our yeast starter dough. Our milk, our lukewarm milk, and our lukewarm water. And you're going to just mix it all together until dough has started to form. Just a side note, the reason why I've showed you making your own yeast is because it's a more natural way of making, getting all of our ingredients together, and you don't need to rely on all the artificial additives that you find in the yeast that you find from the supermarket. Now the dough's been formed, we're going to now just place a bit of cling film, or if you do have the reasonable size of a bowl, you could probably put a lid on, like so. Let that to prove, but every 30 minutes you're going to just fold it in, but I'll show you that once 30 minutes comes up. So it's been about 30 minutes, so we're going to take off our lid and we're going to wet our hands with some cold water, and what we're just going to do is just fold our dough like so. The wider the better. Why we're doing this is because this will help the air to be get some more air into our dough and help prove better. So now we're going to place our lid back on and wait for another 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes, so we're going to do the same thing as again. our fingers, pull as far as you can, return back, pull, return back, pull, return back. Place our lid back again on top and wait another 30 minutes. So now it's the third and final time of us folding our bread dough. And now we're going to let that to prove for until it doubled in size. Because I'm in the UK, so it's kind of cold. So I'm going to put my dough into an airing cupboard so it can speed the process up. So it's been a day, and my dough, our bread dough, has risen very well. As you can see, there's a load of air bubbles that have started to form. So that's perfect for us to shape next. But in the meantime, now we're going to start forming our dough. So on a board, I'm going to just prep it with a bit of flour. Getting our dough out. Work our dough onto the board. It's a bit gooey, as you can see. And we're going to add a bit more flour onto our dough. And what we're going to just do is just to form a shape of our dough. Now we've just formed a shape. We're going to transfer it again to another place that we can prove it to. And let that to rest for 2 hours. I'm going to preheat my oven at 220 degrees C. For me, I'm going to be using a clay pot when I'm baking my bread. So I'm going to have to put this into the oven. But alternatively, if you have a cast iron pan, that will perfectly be alright to be used into the oven. So it's been about 2 hours. So it's about enough time. So now what we're going to do is transfer our bread into our clay pot, like so. Be careful with a cloth. So now we're going to make a bit of an insert in about the middle. This will open up once it starts baking. So next, using a bit of egg wash, this is just egg and a bit of milk. I'm going to just place this. This will give you a nice colour of your bread. For me, I'm using some sesame seeds and just spread it around. The egg wash has helped it just to act like somewhat like a glue. Now we're going to just place our lid back onto our clay pot, and we're going to place this into our preheated oven, 220 degrees C, or and bake until for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're going to take off the lid and then bake additionally another 10 to 15 minutes until there's a nice golden brown color. So it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to take this out, remove the lid. Wow, such a nice development. So I'm going to now place this back in for another 10 to 15 minutes to get a more darker color. Cool it down on the rack, and this is what you're supposed to hear. You're going here. So that's perfect, and let that cool down. Have it, how to make your very own bread at home from scratch, everything from scratch, and you don't need to rely on those yeast that you'll find in the supermarket. So remember to like, share and subscribe to the Happy Chef YouTube channel, and hit that bell to be notified when my next videos come out. So stay safe, stay happy and enjoy cooking.